figured out she was serious, I said, ma'am, I'm not very good at math, but I'm almost positive this couldn't cost $10,000. She said, well, you must have had an order that you already picked up. I told her, no, I didn't. I'm not a contractor. Well, she fooled around on the register a minute and asked me, are you sure you didn't have an order that you picked up? I said, I'm positive. But even if I did, how would your cash register know that? It has no idea who's buying this stuff. She said, oh, that's right. And she figured it out finally. If you're ever at a fast food restaurant and you give the person behind the counter $20, if that thing tells them to give you back $50, they're going to do it. We not only believe everything anyone tells us nowadays, we're raising a generation that believes anything a computer says. And that story illustrates what I've been trying to preach over the last year. We've got to quit accepting everything we hear as gospel. I think you should listen to all the candidates. Ask them questions. Get their point of view. If you like them, vote for them. If you don't, then don't vote for them. I'd be leery of anyone who wouldn't talk to you. I hope you keep listening. We're going to have them on.
We should see more sun than clouds overall around the area today with a northeasterly breeze. Our temperatures once again on the cool side of normal as highs reach about 52 to 58. Overnight tonight will be mostly clear in the evening. Late tonight partly cloudy and chilly with lows in the low to mid 30s. Then we'll see more clouds than sun for Tuesday. Continued cool tomorrow. Can't rule out a very isolated sprinkle or two in the afternoon. Highs about the same as today, but then we'll turn quite a bit warmer on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' number one morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding invitations have been sent out, so I've been told.
Happy Monday to each and every one of you.
The following radio show sounds exactly the same way forward as it does backward.
Come on, Donald, this is ridiculous.
Are you talking to me?
Showtime.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. And welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for another week of Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm Matt Horsey, the LeaderMan's lovely sidekick. And it is a lovely, beautiful day, beautiful sunrise. It's cold, but there's no ice on your windshield, and it's going to be a lovely day.
Don't forget, of course, we are being seen around the world on our live video stream. That's taking place right now at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link. One click will get you there. If you're on a mobile device, your YouTube app will get you there. Just put Mornings with the LeaderMan, all one word, into the search parameters, and we'll pop up at the top. If you're on a mobile device just wanting audio because you can't look while you're driving, well, hey, we suggest the TuneIn app or iTunes. Many other players will also play our stream, so you can check it out. Just put WEEB into the search. And if you're on our website, that icon in the upper right-hand corner of any of our web pages that says Listen Live, just tap that, and you're listening just that quick. One click and you're listening. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area. We're going to get a few days of sunshine for a change. Partly cloudy today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday before rain moves in. Today, partly cloudy, 56. Tonight, 38. Tomorrow, 55. Wednesday, big warm-up, 73 for a high. Thursday, even a bigger warm-up, 76. Prepare to sweat. Friday, clouds move in. Chance of showers for Good Friday. Look for high of 72. And then for Saturday and Sunday, back to sunshine for Easter Sunday. And Saturday, sunny Saturday, 62. And Easter Sunday, partly cloudy, 65. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are from the north-northeast at 8. Visibility 10 statute miles. Pressure is 30-50. Dew point 30. Humidity 79%. It's partly cloudy. 36 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. All right. We got a lot to do this morning, sound bites and everything, but one thing that's always common in radio stations is the radio station's coffee. If you've never tasted a radio station's coffee, well, you're missing out. Maybe this will bring it to light for you.
Hey, welcome to the sales team. Here, you can have this cup.
That's good.
Oh, you like it?
What is it?
It's radio station coffee.
Oh.
The morning show always seems to make a pot right before they leave. Then it just sits here all day.
I kind of like it.
Well, here's more. The pot itself hasn't been cleaned since about 2016.
Is that a hair in it?
Probably so. They use an old microphone windscreen as a coffee filter.
Windscreen?
It's that fuzzy ball on the end of the microphone. All the DJs talk into the same one, and they never clean it. DJs, they're a funny bunch.
The more you tell me, the more I seem to like it.
I know. And here's the best part. It's free.
Free?
Mm-hmm. Huh. Company pays for it. That's why nobody complains. You can't beat free coffee. Hey, what do you say we take these and go watch the DJs through the windows? They're like monkeys in a cage. Radio station coffee made by an intern with bad hygiene.
Not so here, though. There's Keurig here. You don't get the hairs.
Well, you don't know where the water came from.
Only the best here. Well, I do know because I put it in there. Only the best here.
It was filtered through the windscreen.
Through the windscreen.
To get the impurities out. Don't you love jingles?
Radio station coffee. It was fresh about 6 hours ago. Radio station coffee. Make sure you swish it around. Radio station coffee. If you complain, it's no longer free.
There you go. Just some added jingles for you. All righty. Lots happened over the weekend. First of all, let's jump into our good news vat of information. A guy in South Carolina, just south of here, nearly drowned last week after his boat flipped over on a choppy river, but a stranger's dog saw him from the shore. It must have been Super Dog, because he went dun-dun-dun-dun and swam out to save him. The guy's grip slipped at one time, but the dog turned around and came back to let him grab it onto his collar.
Wow.
The dog's name is Woody. The man is Mason Ringer. Mason had two friends in the boat who were swept away, but rescuers got them. But here's Mason's story.
Next thing I know, the dog's in the water coming at me, and he gets right up to me, pretty much right in my face, and kind of barks a little bit, and spun around, threw his tail at me. I was able to grab his tail. He started pulling me towards the shore, and my hand slipped, and the dog felt it, stopped, backpedaled. I was able to get my arm around his collar, and he took me all the way to the dock. It was a miracle. I was going to buy the dog the biggest steak I could ever find on Friday.
Well, man's best friend.
Yeah, if you're drowning, you grab a hold of Woody. Well, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right.
A woman who used
piece of floating wood.
A woman who used to be an actress posted a bunch of clips on Twitter where she ambushes her husband with bad Alanis Morissette impressions. Her name is Lisa Rafael, and she got over 1 million views from this weekend alone.
It's not fair!
I can't be around here anymore.
'Cause I'm here to remind you of the mess you left. I know the version of me, and she perverted like me. 'Cause I'm here.
Hey, baby, done eating?
Almost.
You know why? Because, I
Hate to bug you in the middle of dinner.
Stop.
I never will.
Well, there's 39 seconds of your life wasted.
Stop. I never will. Oh, she's not bad. She could use some improvement, obviously, but how old is she?
I told you all that I know.
I am depending on you for these answers, Steve.
Well, only your mind would go to how old is she? You can look it up the video. Wendy's just dropped a new mixtape, as in the fast food chain Wendy's made a rap mixtape. And as far as rap mixtapes go, well, you'll have to be the judge of whether it's any good. People are spreading it on Twitter, and they kind of don't know how to react to this thing. Here's what it is.
You better stop it. See me falling off is not an option. I see you plotting, trying to wonder how we got this poppin'. It took a lot, man. Can't even front, I want the spot, man. They say they love us cause we serving everything, you not, man.
What's that about?
You Twitter beefing for some clout. Your customers is in a drought.
They loving me with no doubt. I'm selling in large amounts. You should've just took this route.
Well, to my expert musical ear here,
And now I really
it's a bunch of crap.
holding it down for like a minute now. Mickey Bleep was
I haven't the biggest idea what she's saying or what she's promoting. Supposedly, she calls herself Queen Wendy and calls out other fast food chains and hypes Wendy's products like the Baconator.
She always broke. Why your drive through always slow? Why your innovation just can't grow? It's Queen Wendy to say mo.
That's when I'm grabbing my remote, and boom, just like that, she's gone.
To quote the late, great Rodney Dangerfield, oh, the only thing they left out of that rap was the C.
Yeah. Woman in Georgia crashed a car into a pole on purpose with her 2 kids inside to prove to them that God exists. Wasn't there a passage in the Bible where the devil was tempting Jesus to jump off the mountain, saying the angels would hold him up? And he said, it's best not to tempt I don't know the exact quote. Not trying to play theologian here.
Don't tempt the Lord your God. He quoted the Old Testament.
Yeah. But
He also said,
that's
"Get
not
thee behind me, Satan."
That's not the purpose of God, to test him. Maybe she was right. No one was hurt, but she ended up in jail on child endangerment charges. The kids are 5 and 7 years old. The first part of this clip is the police video of them explaining what happened in the back of a cruiser at the accident scene. The guy at the end is Sergeant Ed Berdensky with the Norcross Police Department.
Her eye was closed, and she was saying blah, blah, blah. I love God.
Were you on the wrong side of the road or on the right side of the road?
The wrong side.
You were on the wrong side?
So we would have got hit anyway. He was actually telling us to believe in God so nothing will happen to us. And dying is not a part of your life. Don't never believe that. The only thing that's a part of your life is...
Okay, I can't even understand him, so I won't try to make you understand him. But anyway, you got the gist of it. Let's see. A high school senior in Georgia didn't get asked to the prom. So she asked her father to go to the prom with her. Is that a bad idea?
No.
Well, it is in the school's eyes. They said, no, you can't come. They have a rule that, of course, they have a bureaucratic rule. They have a rule that no one over 20 is allowed to be a prom date. Well, let's see. Father wouldn't exactly be a date, because that'd be kind of weird. I would think he'd be an escort, kind of like at a wedding where he escorts his daughter.
Yeah, and I'll bet you $1 to a donut they had parents there as chaperones, standing around the wall watching everything.
This is Ronald Toussaint, a single father raising 3 daughters, including 17-year-old Ariel. She asked him because she thinks of him as the best man that she knows.
She's actually pretty upset, and it's my job to dress it up and make it look good. So I've been trying to do that on one hand while fighting on the other hand. She told me that I'm the best man that she knows. It should be my child comes first, right? And whatever that she needs. So if she needs me to come to the prom with her, it makes her feel comfortable, I'm her safe zone, then that should be fine.
Yeah, it should be your child comes first, but we have government bureaucracy in front of you to stop you.
Good man.
I can understand that they don't want a girl dating a junior in college and bringing him to a high school prom.
Sure.
But a father, well, A, is not a date, and B, is an escort, and C, who's being hurt? Anybody? If anything, you got one more chaperone there at the prom.
Absolutely. What a good man. I don't know why his daughter's an attractive young woman.
A teenager in Minnesota, you may have heard this for sure by now, failed her driver's test last Wednesday because instead of reversing out of the parking space, she put it in drive and floored it. Plowed her SUV into the DMV. We were there for the, of course, our mics were there for all this.
Okay, go ahead and put it in reverse. Okay, you can take the test again in 60 days. You can turn off the blinker now.
Yeah, and then the little lady had to take her paperwork inside where she had to meet the women of the DMV. You know who I'm talking about behind that counter, don't you?
And I suppose you already know. You failed. God give us, and the DMV take us away. You mustn't with the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Okay. If you're into sports, with a real man who likes his college March Madness, well, we have our Final Four montage for you.
And that's it. It's another supernova run to the Final Four for the Wildcats. Villanova knocks off Texas Tech. That's all she wrote. Winning a school record 32nd game sends the Michigan Wolverines to the Final Four.
And that is going to do it. Kansas is still dancing and heading to San Antonio. That's it. Chicago, you got a Final Four team. The Ramblers of Loyola Chicago headed to San Antonio.
We saw their heart. We saw their attention to detail. We saw their basketball IQ. We saw their never say die. We saw the prayers of the faithful. This has been awesome.
The great poet Elwood Blue said it best. They're on a mission from God.
Well, if you're following the NCAA tournament, you probably heard of Sister Jean. They sure show her a lot on TV. The chaplain for Loyola Chicago. She's 98 years old, and she's a huge supporter of the team. And we're going to check out her pregame prayer from the round of 16 where Loyola beat Nevada. And now they've made it to the Final Four as an 11th seed.
There are too many microphones here today for me to give you the numbers of the guys, but I have a way of getting those to you. So just be alert, stay focused, use your heads and your hearts, And let's make that next game our Elite Eight. God bless us. Go Ramblers. And amen.
Well, she's got it all together there, doesn't she?
Yeah, I want her praying for me. She's got connections for her team to get this far. Before Loyola's Elite Eight game against Kansas City, Charles Barkley said he would like to hang out with Sister Jean if Loyola made it to the San Antonio, and she accepted the offer.
So Charles Barkley would love to hang out with you. Can I make that a date between you two?
We'll have limitations. I like him when he talks as a sports announcer very much, but I don't want to see him playing the basketball court.
And here's Sister Jean talking about the Ramblers' victory in the Elite Eight to make it to make it to the Final Four situation.
I want to thank everybody who had part of this, and I keep saying, be careful, San Antonio. The Ramblers are on their way, and I hope we continue. But we always do one game at a time, and so we know what we want to do next. Young man said to me the other day, Sister Jean, we broke your bracket. And I said, keep breaking it. That's okay with me. I did have a second bracket, bringing them to the top. So I called it my Cinderella dream bracket. So we'll see how far we go.
Anyway, she's made enough TV appearances that she's now catching on out there to the point somebody's doing parodies for her.
But she was more like a Jesuit on a TV screen. I said, don't cheer, just say prayers, please. You are the nun who will dance with the poor in the round. Sweet 16. She says, I am the nun who will dance with the poor in the round.
Everyone knows who Sister Jean is. When she walks, eyes turn.
And sister always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking commandments.
You so well.
And sister always told me, be careful who you play. And be careful when you lose. Cause the common knows the truth. Hey, Sister Jane is not my mother. She's just a fan who happens to be a nun. Loves the God and 3 in 1.
When Sister Jean's coming, everybody stops.
She says, I am the nun. I pray to Loyola one.
Please, God, don't forget about the Loyola Ramblers. We'd like to see a big W.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Stormy Daniels interview aired on 60 Minutes last night. We're not going to belabor on this much, other than to say, you got to remember, she signed an agreement or a statement back in 2016 denying that she ever had sex with Donald Trump. Where now she says, well, that was a lie. But now we're supposed to believe her? She's just playing the press like a fiddle and creating all these adult films on the side and being a featured stripper. She was down in Myrtle Beach a few weeks ago as the featured stripper, and I'm no telling what she got paid for it.
Make America horny again. Woohoo!
But here's a 39-year-old just raking it in now because, well, you claim you did it with the president and make it sound believable. Well, your stock value goes up out there on the slut circuit. And so it does.
Are you slut-shaming, Steve?
Well, someone who...
Sounded like you were slut-shaming, Steve.
One of the ones that produced another porn film every 36 seconds. But somehow with that kind of inventory out there, in order to make any money, you got to somehow figure a way to rise to the top. What better way than to say you had sex with the president?
Now, I don't know that she did or didn't, but I mean, he admitted to being a philanderer or adulterer before he was elected, so it's not like it's a surprise.
Yeah, and do we care what happened 10 years ago?
It was longer than that, I think, wasn't it?
I think this was 10.
Was it the Playboy model that was longer than that?
I think so.
I don't know, but anyway.
But regardless, is it any of our business?
Well,
now supposedly he was married at the time. So,
right. Well, he admitted that's how he met one or two of his wives, wasn't it?
yeah,
Cheating.
He's on number 3 right now. I just leave his love life alone. We'll talk about Bill instead. Guy that accused of rape, paid Paula Jones $850,000 to settle her claim against him. But I didn't do anything wrong, not at all. Nothing.
Well, I think that's the bottom line. It's consensual. The voters spoke
Paula Jones
on the
consensual.
moral. The voters spoke on the moral issue, and so then it gets to whether it was consensual or not, and lots of what Clinton did was not consensual. It's the kind of stuff that people are being run out of Hollywood and Congress and everywhere else for. And it's the reason the Dems are staying away from him now. It's part of the reason.
Let's see here. Thought I had the... yeah, here it is. Went right by it all. The March for Our Lives this past weekend. Paul McCartney went to it on Saturday. Said he was there because of John Lennon.
You know, I'm like everyone. I don't know. But this is what we can do. And so I'm here to do it. One of my best friends was killed in gun violence right around here. So it's important to me.
Genius.
What was the girl's name with all the shaven head?
It's one of the high school students.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, she spoke. She had a coat on that had a Cuban patch on it. The Cuban flag patch on her arm. I guess she celebrates communism.
Well, they don't have people shooting each other in Cuba, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
You know, except for the government.
The government takes you out back and just shoots you if they don't like you. Former Senator Rick Santorum was on CNN yesterday saying the kids are worried about gun violence should learn CPR instead of telling lawmakers to solve their problems.
How about kids, instead of looking to someone else to solve their problem, do something about maybe taking CPR classes or trying to deal with situations that where there is a violent shooter that you
how
can
are they
actually
looking at other
respond to
people?
that.
I would ask you, they took action.
Yeah, they took action to ask someone to pass a law. They didn't take action to say, how do I, as an individual, deal with this problem? How am I going to do something about stopping bullying within my own community? What am I going to do to actually help respond to a shooter? What am I going to do? Those are the kinds of things where you can take it internally and say, here's how I'm going to deal with this. Here's how I'm going to help the situation, instead of going and protesting and saying, oh, someone else needs to pass a law to protect me. I think everyone should be responsible and deal with the problems that we have to confront in our lives, and ignoring those problems and saying they're not going to come to me, and saying some phony gun law is going to solve it. Phony gun laws don't solve these problems. That's what we found out.
Where's the thing? Criminals don't care about the law. That's the big thing.
We should make it illegal to murder people.
I know. What a novel idea.
I'm glad you played the whole clip because...
Or to blow up people. We should outlaw that, too.
Yeah, outlaw that. Just the part about taking CPR sounded dumb. When you play the whole clip, yes, what he's saying obviously makes a lot of sense. Now, by the way, I want to say, there are a lot of conservative websites and stuff getting on this principle for saying that they're going to put buckets of rocks... I may not have exactly the plan.
No,
exactly
it's not.
Right.
It's not rocks. It's river stones.
Well, whatever. They're going to
I'm sure they got a thick, good meat book of specification of what constitutes a river stone.
Well, I don't know, but I don't. That's not an entirely bad idea. If somebody walks into a room with a gun and starts getting pelted with rocks, that's going to be effective. Now, I was glad that...
I don't know, one pulled the trigger and they're all going to be ducking for cover.
Yes, maybe. But all I'm saying is I was glad to see that that school district is also talking about arming, whether teachers or having armed guards or something. Yeah, you need to do that. The rocks is not a bad idea. The cans is not a bad idea. I'll differ from some of my conservative friends. If it's every layer that you can build to harden a target, it's all good.
Yeah, I would be practicing. That'd be a layer, but I'd be practicing shoving desks to the door quickly and using the weight of the kids behind the desk to keep that door in place. And river locks is the last resort.
Assuming the doors have been armored, but otherwise you want to keep the kids away from the door. But anyway, yeah, the point is, yeah, there are all kinds of things.
Something to make it too hard to push that door open.
And it's sorry that this is where we are, but this is where we are. And gun school shootings started during the assault weapons ban. That had been in the so-called assault weapons ban. That had been in effect for quite a while before, and then school shootings started.
Or a simpler way to do it would be that from the inside, a teacher could throw a deadbolt. It can't be reversed from the outside the door without a key.
Right. They, and I think they're doing that.
And that would make it pretty tough for them to get in.
Another answer is to have a claymore built into the wall. When somebody's trying to get in, you hit the clacker.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm going too far.
No, that's got a little kind of a random splatter of debris there. Anyway, I'm sure if they sat down long enough, they could come up with ways to fortify the schools a little bit without breaking the budget to death, and protect the kids a little better. Just a thought. All right, let's take a look at this day. Oh, before I do that, got to look at the snotty elites out there. Bill Maher, let's see. Talking about Karen McDougal and Trump.
Someone asked Trump about Karen McDougal today, asked if they had unprotected sex. And he said, no, we had a non-disclosure agreement.
And Bill Maher in his snooty response to Stormy Daniels.
60 Minutes. Stormy Daniels is on 60 Minutes. Stormy says she is not going to go into details about sex with Donald Trump. She's saving that for another show. 60 seconds.
Okay. Taking a look at this day in history. It's being the 26th day of the year, of March, I should say.
Those were kind of funny.
That's the only reason I played them. It was on this day, 1953, 65 years ago, that Dr. Jonas Salk announced that he successfully tested the polio vaccine. In 1979, one of the greatest NCAA basketball finals of all time, Magic Johnson and Michigan State defeated Larry Bird and Indiana State 75-64. That was a butt whooping.
Wow, that was a portend of things to come, huh?
Let's see. In 18 years ago, in 2000, the winner of the 72nd Academy Awards Best Picture was American Beauty. Birthdays today. Let's see who we got. Keira Knightley from Pirates of the Caribbean, 33 years old today.
American Beauty was kind of like real life, except that he was lusting after a girl instead of a boy.
Let's see who else we got. Kenny Chesney, 50 today. John Stockton, retired Utah Jazz, 56. Marcus Allen, the legendary Raiders running back, is 58. Martin Short is 68. Steven Tyler, 70. Diana Ross, 74. Bob Woodward, 75. And James Caan is 78 years old today. Things we need to know so we do not sound stupid today. A New York firefighter was killed last Thursday while battling a fire that broke out at a Harlem building where film crews were shooting a new Edward Norton and Bruce Willis movie. U.S. recorded music sales climbed 17% to $8.7 billion last year, the largest growth in 23 years. China's media regulators is cracking down on parody videos. Kevin Federline says $20,000 a month he receives from his ex Britney Spears just isn't enough. Britney says that's because he's spending most of the money of that money on his 4 other kids. This guy's just dumping DNA everywhere. And YouTube is planning a Karate Kid series that follows the characters 34 years later. And actor Fred Savage being sued for assault and battery by a former crew member of the Fox show The Grinder. All right, 8 o'clock, here's your sports weather news starting right now.
We should see more sun than clouds overall around the area today. With a northeasterly breeze, our temperatures once again on the cool side of normal as highs reach about 52 to 58. Overnight tonight will be mostly clear in the evening. Late tonight, partly cloudy and chilly with lows in the low to mid-30s. Then we'll see more clouds than sun for Tuesday. Continued cool tomorrow. Can't rule out a very isolated sprinkle or two in the afternoon. Highs about the same as today, but then we'll turn quite a bit warmer on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
97.3 FM and 990 AM. WPEB Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen. And on the web at talk973.com.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A couple of lawyers who had planned to join President Trump's legal team will not be taking those jobs after all.
Trump personal attorney Jay Sekulow says Washington lawyers Joe DeGeneva and Victoria Tensing have conflicts that won't allow them to represent the president regarding special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation. Last week, the lead attorney on the president's legal team, John Dowd, announced his resignation.
That's White House correspondent Greg Clugston. Will more gun control solve the problem of gun-related violence in schools? Kyle Kashup doesn't think so. He's a student at Florida's Stoneman Douglas High School who doesn't share the view of so many of his classmates who have rallied for more gun laws.
And I find it ironic that after all this, and we've seen so many different government failures, we want to trust the government even more.
On CBS's Face the Nation, he notes the gunman at his school was well known to authorities, including the FBI and the Broward County Sheriff's Office. The death toll now 64 in a fire at a crowded shopping mall in Siberia. BBC's Paul Adams in Moscow.
There are an awful lot of conflicting stories about where and how the fire began. Some people saying it started in one of the cinemas in that multiplex complex. Others saying it may have been a dropped cigarette butt in the children's play area, which could account for the large number of children who seem to have been caught up in this tragedy. And I think it'll be some time, given the large area that this fire consumed, before we get any very definitive answers.
An off-duty Jersey City, New Jersey police officer is dead. He died of a gunshot wound suffered last night in his home. Wall Street futures higher this morning. Dow futures up 274 points. NASDAQ futures ahead 102 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This is Mike Gallagher again. Let me be clear. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free product that simply helped eliminate my pain. Pain from back pain in a motorcycle accident that made my life a little uncomfortable. If you're struggling with pain in your hands, feet, hips, knees, or neck, you name it, you owe it to yourself to go to ReliefFactor.com. Order the 3-week quick start. It's only $19.95. Give it a try. It works. ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com, or call them 800-500-8384, 800-500-8384.
Protecting data across modern decentralized networks presents challenges that traditional backup solutions can't handle. At best, you'll waste time and money managing multiple solutions. At worst, gaps in coverage will leave your data vulnerable. Barracuda Backup is a single cloud-integrated solution that simplifies the backup process and allows data replication to anywhere on your network, a private cloud, Barracuda's cloud, or to the AWS public cloud. Reclaim your data. Try Barracuda Backup free at barracuda.com/backup.
Malaysia's government is proposing new legislation to outlaw fake news with a 10-year jail term for offenders.
The bill defines fake news as any report, information or data that is wholly or partially false. It's been introduced before a general election, which has to be held by August. Opposition politicians say ahead of the vote, the Prime Minister Najib Razak is trying to silence debate about a corruption scandal in which he himself has been implicated, although he denies wrongdoing. Opponents' fears were heightened last week when a deputy minister said that news about the scandal would be considered fake if it hadn't been verified by the government.
That's BBC's Michael Bristow. Ride-hailing giant Uber is selling its business in Southeast Asia to regional rival Grab, while gaining a robust take in the fast-growing ride-sharing, food delivery, and financial services business. News and analysis at townhall.com. Adult film star Stormy Daniels, who claims that she had had a sexual encounter with Donald Trump more than 10 years ago, claims that she was physically threatened to keep quiet.
Daniels tells CBS's 60 Minutes it happened 5 years later in Las Vegas.
A guy walked up on me and said to me, "Leave Trump alone, forget the story." And then he leaned around and looked at my daughter and said, "A beautiful little girl, it'd be a shame if something happened to her mom."
Earlier, she described the alleged encounter with Trump in 2006. Asked why she's coming forward now after being paid $130,000 for her silence during the presidential race, Daniels says she's defending herself against allegations that she's a liar. Trump's lawyer has denied any affair. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
And watching Wall Street this morning, S&P futures are up more than 31 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Mudslinging. That term's been around for a long time. It's usually used by persons who have a lot to hide, and when you start pointing out some of those things, they get nervous. They want you to stop. Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and I'm supporting Steve Adams for sheriff. You know, it's easy for a candidate to get re-elected, especially a sheriff. About all they have to do is smile and shake hands and rework the stats a little bit so it looks the way they want it to look. Our current sheriff has 3 people running against him. That's almost unheard of in this county. The 2 former sheriffs have endorsed his opponent. Now that is unheard of. He has former deputies speaking out against his shenanigans and current deputies, including some of his inside people, leaking information on his incompetence as a leader. And when this is pointed out, it's quickly labeled mudslinging. So, Sheriff, have we got a deal for you? Come on the radio. We'll give you as much time as you need to answer questions. Questions like, why would you hire someone you know has serious alcohol problems to be a deputy? Why would you try to cover it up when he drove his patrol car drunk? And why is there such an unprecedentedly high turnover rate in your department? The list goes on. So, Sheriff, you can call it mudslinging. I call it revealing facts. Either way, you never have a chance like this again to set the record straight. Will you accept, Sheriff? If not, I'm going to continue to support Steve Adams for sheriff.
Find out about Steve's plan at adamsforsheriff.com. That's adamsforsheriff.com. Paid for by Adams for Sheriff.
Thank you for calling Carolina Air.
Someone told me you folks don't charge for a service call. I don't believe it.
It is true, ma'am. We get that reaction a lot.
That doesn't sound right. So everything is free?
Our service calls are free, but we do charge if you need parts or repair.
Wow. Most companies charge $100 just to come out.
At Carolina Air, we do not charge to come to your home. Nickel and diming customers is not in our handbook, so schedule your free appointment today at carolinaair.com or 910-684-3864.
Neck, shoulder, or back pain can be downright debilitating. If you have those issues, you already know that, and you don't need me to tell you about the opioid crisis. There's another, better way. I'm talking about chiropractic, a healing art that's also science. Dr. Sharon Wright of Wright Chiropractic in Seven Lakes invites you to come in for a discussion about how chiropractic works and could work for you. To be sure, there are many of you out there that have reached the proverbial dead end trying to treat and manage your pain.
This is Dr. Wright. I can't guarantee I can fix every problem, but I will tell you honestly whether chiropractic can be of help for your particular issue. Living with pain is not always the only option. Doesn't it make sense to explore every avenue before resigning yourself to the limitations of pain? Call our office today to schedule a consultation and start living again. 673-2225.
Hi, this is Becky. My buddy Bob and I have started a new business, Pinehurst Concierge Services. We provide errand runs and transportation, grocery pickup and shopping, home sitting, same-day courier service for small businesses, and other services that'll make your day simple and easy. We are veteran and locally owned, always on time, and rates are reasonable. Go online to pinehurstconciergeservices.com or call 910-683-0500 683-0555. That's 683-0555.
You already know about Little Dino's great subs, but did you know they make some of the very best pizza as well? But if subs are your preference, then you won't find more choices anywhere else. That's why Little Dino's motto is more choices, more flavor. And it's true. At Little Dino's, you'll always eat fresh. But unlike some national chains, their staff isn't fresh. So get off the chain gang and come into Little Dino's for more choices, more flavor, and friendly service. Little Dino's, located in Olmsted Village Shopping Center, off 211 in Pinehurst.
NCN News. I'm Mike Riley in an exclusive interview with 60 Minutes. Stormy Daniels, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford, says she signed her non-disclosure agreement about her alleged affair because she was worried about her and her family's safety. Legal analyst Andrew Cohen has more.
There's the allegation of the threat that Clifford says was made against her in 2011, but there doesn't seem to have been a criminal investigation at that time, and it doesn't look like one is coming now. Aside from that, I did not see or hear anything that changes the dynamic of the legal fight over that non-disclosure agreement. Remember, no one is under oath when they talk on camera to Anderson Cooper.
The Democratic polling company, Public Policy Polling, is out with some numbers on Governor Roy Cooper, showing 50% still approve of the job he's doing. Tom Jensen with a polling firm says he is in better shape than the last two governors.
Cooper's already been able to maintain his popularity much longer than either Perdue or McCrory was able to. I think at this time in 2014, McCrory had about a -10 approval rating.
At least 64 people are dead after a fire broke out in a Siberian shopping mall. The flames raged overnight. Russia's Minister of Emergency Situations says firefighters have finished searching the mall, that 6 bodies have yet to be recovered. BBC News correspondent Paul Andrews.
We still don't know how the fire started. There are all sorts of conflicting theories, one being that it might have been an electrical short circuit, another that a child playing with a lighter may have set fire to the foam underneath a trampoline. Investigators are there. They are starting to look at this. They have already called some people in for questioning.
The Durham County Sheriff's Office is investigating after a body was found at an abandoned home this morning. Authorities on the scene say they're investigating the death as suspicious. And Toby Fitch, former lawmaker, is now going to fill a state Senate seat for the rest of the year. You're listening to NCN News.
The North Carolina Wine and Beer Festival, presented by Food Lion, is coming to the farm on Saturday, April 7th. More than 100 different wines to sample from the mountains to the coast, including Hennett Vineyards, Fish Hippie, Duplet, Gregory Vineyards, Childress, and many more. Craft beer sampling by Double Barley Brewing, Deep River, Raleigh Brewing, Carolina Brewing, and more. And live music all day with the ultimate party band, The Shakedown. And Nashville's soulful Raylan Baxter. Come experience Farm to Glass at the Farm at 95 on Saturday, April 7th. Special VIP tickets catered by the award-winning restaurant Chef and the Farmer. Brought to you by Bedlam Vodka. And a limited number of advance tickets are available right now for just $25. Go to ncwineandbeerfestival.com. The North Carolina Wine and Beer Festival, presented by Food Lion at the Farm at 95. Saturday, April 7th. Sponsored by Hennett Vineyards, Bedlam Vodka, and Spring Hill Outfitters. A portion of the proceeds benefits the Foundation of Hope.
A day after hundreds of thousands of people turned out for March for Our Lives demonstrations, a once powerful gun maker files for bankruptcy.
200-year-old Remington has filed for bankruptcy protection. Remington makes the Bushmaster semi-automatic that was used in the 2012 Sandy Hook school massacre. Experts, though, say the mass shootings since Sandy Hook are not the reason gun sales are down overall. They say sales surged in 2016 on fears that Hillary Clinton might win the election and move to restrict gun ownership. Donald Trump's election left gun owners reassured that will not happen on his watch. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
The day of the driverless vehicle is coming, but not so fast. That's the view of mechanical engineering professor at Duke University, Mary Cummings, who says there are shortcuts being made as there is a desire to get this concept to the marketplace.
There's such a rush to market that we're not doing enough testing. So I have been strongly advocating at the congressional level that if we're going to make humans, for example, take vision tests, then why don't we have something similar for cars
North Carolina fishermen who make seafood their business are resisting efforts to change rules that may allow some to skirt recreational catch limits. Commercial fishermen want state lawmakers to reject the changes proposed by the State Marine Fisheries Commission last month. Officials in Mexico have ruled that an Iowa family choked to death on poisonous gas inside their vacation home. But there are still unanswered questions, as CBS News correspondent Maria Villarreal has more.
Investigators dressed in anti-contamination suits to work quickly to find any clues in the condo. Firefighters took a close look at the ventilation system and gas connections to a stove inside the Bahia Principio resort rooms. It's still unclear what specific gas may have actually killed the family, but officials do not believe this was an act of suicide or violence.
Mike Traley, NCN News.
We've got a ridge of high pressure extending in from the north today, and while we may see one or two partly cloudy periods, it should be mostly sunny overall. We'll have a northeasterly breeze. Our temperatures staying cooler than normal with highs about 52 to 58. Overnight tonight will be mostly clear in the evening, partly cloudy and chilly late tonight with lows in the low to mid-30s. Then partly to mostly cloudy Tuesday. There's a very slight chance of an afternoon sprinkle or two. Highs again about 52 to 58. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Right now here in the Sand Hills, sunny skies, 35 degrees, humidity 82%. Dew point at 30, pressure is 30.56, winds north to 6, visibility is at 10 statute miles. It's 8:14. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Monday. A year-long drug trafficking investigation spearheaded by the Southern Pines Police Department has led to a second round of arrests. The arrests were made as part of an undercover probe called codename Operation Leader, according to a news release issued last week. Curtis Lee Stubbs, Jr., 27 of Hoffman, and Tremaine Devon McLeod, 41 of Southern Pines, are charged with possession with intent to sell or deliver cocaine, sale of cocaine, delivery of cocaine, and manufacturing, sale, and delivery of a controlled substance within a 1,000-foot radius of a school. Christian Javon Terry, 32 of Southern Pines, who was previously arrested as part of an earlier wave of arrests on February 20th, now faces additional charges of probation violations. And two-thirds of North Carolina counties experienced growth from 2016 to 17, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Estimates that were just released, census estimates show that as of July 1 of 2017, 10.3 million people called North Carolina home, and the state remains the ninth most populous in the country. Estimates also highlighted growth in Southern Pines and Dunn, both cities ranked among the top 10 for numeric growth among micropolitan areas in the country, defined by the Census Bureau as urban clusters of between 10,000 and 50,000 residents. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning, but stand by. Here comes your latest in sports right here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. It is 8:17.
NCN Sports, I'm Jeff Hamlin. With East Carolina, Western Carolina, and UNC Asheville all now looking for new men's basketball coaches, it appears that High Point is ready to make a big splash in the college coaching ranks. ESPN reports that High Point is set to name former Kentucky, Texas Tech, and Memphis head coach Tubby Smith as its new head coach later today. Earlier this month, Smith was fired after 2 seasons at Memphis. Smith is a 1973 graduate of High Point and led Kentucky to the 1998 national championship. He has also coached at Georgia, Tulsa, and Minnesota. Smith would replace former UNC star Scott Cherry, who was fired 3 weeks ago. Moving on to the Final Four, a game that was a classic yesterday in the Midwest Regional, where top-seeded Kansas defeated the second-seed Duke 85-81 in overtime to make the 15th Final Four in school history. Malik Newman scores 32 points, including all 13 of the Jayhawks' points in overtime. Grayson Allen ends his Duke career with a near miss, nearly scoring at the buzzer. It would have sent Duke to the national semifinal. Instead, the Blue Devils are going home, and Allen ends his Duke career.
But it's definitely the shock because you just believe that you're going to win right up to the last minute. And it just really with like those 15 seconds left is when it really just kind of hits you that it's all over.
Kansas will face Villanova in the Final Four next Saturday night. The Wildcats defeated Texas Tech 71-59 to win the East Regional. And now there's talk that Duke assistant John Shire may become the new head coach of the Pitt Panthers. Shire has been an assistant coach at Duke since 2014 and was a member of the 2010 national title team. This is sports from NCN.
How can we meet the aspirations of 10 million North Carolinians? At the University of North Carolina system, we do it by harnessing the strength of 17 transformative institutions working towards a unified goal, prosperity for all. Today, the system is united as never before. 17 institutions, individually remarkable and collectively extraordinary. This is the University of North Carolina system.
The North Carolina Wine and Beer Festival presented by Food Lion is coming to the farm on Saturday, April 7th. Sponsored by Hennett Vineyards and Bedlam Vodka. Sample over 100 different North Carolina craft beverages, including Childress Vineyards, Double Barley Brewing, Fish Hippie, Hennett Vineyards, Duplin, Raleigh Brewing, Bull City Cider Works, and more. Live music all day, including Nashville's soulful Raylan Baxter. Enjoy a VIP experience, including pairings by the award-winning restaurant Chef and the Farmer and Bedlam Vodka. Go to ncwineandbeerfestival.com.
Golden State head coach Steve Kerr says that former Davidson star Stephen Curry will not play in the first round of the NBA playoffs. Curry suffered an injury, a grade 2 MCL sprain, in Friday's win over the Atlanta Hawks. Yesterday, with Quinn Cook, the former Duke star, in the lineup for Curry, Golden State lost to Utah 110-91. Elsewhere, Cleveland defeated Brooklyn 121-114, and it was Milwaukee over San Antonio 106-103. In NHL news, the Carolina Hurricanes have called up Warren Foegele from the Charlotte Checkers. The 21-year-old ranked second on the Checkers in goals and fourth in scoring. So far, he has 26 goals this season. That leads all AHL rookies. That's sports. I'm Jeff Hamlin on NCN.
Hi, this is Steve Leader Adams. How would you like to treat your office to a free lunch? Well, log on to WEEB990.com and register your office for the Jersey Mike's Sack of Subs. We'll pick a lucky winner each Friday morning, and lunch is on us in Jersey Mike's that day. That's WEEB990.com.
So what makes Jersey Mike's special? It starts with the bread, baked fresh throughout each day. Next, high-quality meats and cheeses, sliced individually for your sandwich. Jersey Mike's. Taste it, and you'll see it really is a sub above. This week, try the number 13, the original Italian, provolone, ham, prosciutini, capicola, salami, and pepperoni.
This is Chuck from Sunbelt Service Pros. Are you just not feeling it anymore with your AC service provider? Are you calling those guys because that's what you've always done, or because there's a sticker on the thermostat with an old phone number on it? How about this? Take a chance and you'll be thrilled to find that you're getting real value for your heating and cooling dollars. When you call Sunbelt Service Pros, you are dealing with a professional and reliable service provider. Our technicians are highly trained and certified and can quickly address any issues. Our customers find our technicians and office staff courteous, friendly, and professional throughout the whole process. We're doing something right here. You need to check us out. Find out what you've been missing and call us today. Sunbelt Service Pros at 910-944-2044 or go online to sunbeltservicepros.com.
Best mates can't stay apart for long. Together again, it's steak and lobster at the Outback. Succulent lobster paired with a tender signature steak is a combo that can't be beat. But I will say the Toowoomba shrimp top salmon or the Queensland chicken and shrimp pasta rank a close second. And always the Steady Eddies, Outback's slow roasted prime rib, or the bone-in marbled ribeye. 2 new appetizers too, cheesy spinach dip or volcano shrimp. Outback is the place for every appetite. 15501 in Southern Pines.
Great news. Get into an available Ram, Jeep, Chrysler, or Dodge at Invoice Less All Rebates. Only at Leith Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Aberdeen. During the spring sales event, a new 2018 vehicle is available at Invoice Less All Rebates. Just ask. Visit Leith today, where customers are always number one. We're easy to get to, easy to deal with, and the home of available Invoice Less All Rebates. Leith Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Aberdeen. Tax tag and $598 administrative documentary fee additional.
The Honda Dream Garage Spring Event is on at Leith Honda Aberdeen. Leith Honda Aberdeen makes it easy for you with these sign and drive specials. Lease a new 2018 Honda CR-V LX two-wheel drive for $299 a month. Or lease a 2018 Honda Pilot EXL two-wheel drive for $399, both with zero do-it signing. Just sign and drive. Leith Honda Aberdeen. Easy to get to and easy to deal with. 48-month lease with approved credit. Offer expires 3/31/18.
I'm an official sounding scientist, and I'm here for a comfort experiment. We're going to recreate the way your home heating system works in your car. Crank up your heat. Blast it at your face. Starting to break a sweat? This is central heating. A Mitsubishi Electric Zone comfort solution with hyperheating allows you to get just the right amount of heat exactly where you need it. Fast. No cold drafts. It's comfort made personal. This concludes our little comfort experiment.
Four Seasons Heating and Air, the company that wants you to get comfortable with them. 235-0606.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. Now, you're going to find this one hard to believe. A couple of days ago, I bought a few pine boards at a local lumber yard. The young lady checking me out looked right at me and said, "That'll be $10,000 and some change." I don't remember the exact amount, but I thought she was kidding. When I figured out she was serious, I said, "Ma'am, I'm not very good at math, but I'm almost positive this couldn't cost $10,000. She said, "Well, you must have had an order that you already picked up." I told her, "No, I didn't. I'm not a contractor." Well, she fooled around on the register a minute and asked me, "Are you sure you didn't have an order that you picked up?" I said, "I'm positive, but even if I did, how would your cash register know that? It has no idea who's buying this stuff." She said, "Oh, that's right," and she figured it out finally. If you're ever at a fast food restaurant and you give the person behind the counter $20, if that thing tells them to give you back $50, they're going to do it. We not only believe everything anyone tells us nowadays, we're raising a generation that believes anything a computer says. And that story illustrates what I've been trying to preach over the last year. We've got to quit accepting everything we hear as gospel. I think you should listen to all the candidates. Ask them questions. Get their point of view. If you like them, vote for them. If you don't, then don't vote for them. I'd be leery of anyone who wouldn't talk to you. I hope you'll keep listening. We're going to have them on the Zumwalt Zone.
We should see more sun than clouds overall around the area today with a northeasterly breeze. Our temperatures once again on the cool side of normal as highs reach about 52 to 58. Overnight tonight will be mostly clear in the evening. Late tonight partly cloudy and chilly with lows in the low to mid 30s. Then we'll see more clouds than sun for Tuesday. Continued cool tomorrow. Can't rule out a very isolated sprinkle or two in the afternoon. Highs about the same as today, but then we'll turn quite a bit warmer on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills number one morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding invitations have been sent out, so I've been told.
Happy Monday to each and every one of you.
The following radio show sounds exactly the same way forward as it does backward.
Come on, Donald, this is ridiculous.
Are you talking to me?
It's showtime.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm Matt Horsey, the LeaderMan's unattractive sidekick. You may text your thoughts and emotions to 910-690-0116, and if appropriate, I'll get them on the air. That's
You didn't get an education. An educated person would not have made such a
an egregious error. A faux pas.
Yeah. Don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on a live video stream that's available to you at talk973.com. One click and you're watching there. If you're on a mobile device, try the YouTube app. Put Mornings with the LeaderMan in there. LeaderMan's all one word. Will pop up at the top. If you're on a mobile device just needing audio, we suggest TuneIn, iTunes, or many other players will also play us. Just put WEEB into your search. And if you're on our website, that crystal clear digital audio stream is just one click away. Just click that icon in the upper right-hand corner of any of our web pages that says Listen Live. And it's just that quick you're listening. Want to say good morning to a lot of folks listening around the world. We got Rocky Point, New York, Moose Lake in Canada. Fayetteville's online this morning. Lots of folks in North Carolina, Wilmington, Southern Pines, Eden. Let's see, we got Sydney, Canada.
Sydney, Canada?
Yeah, Sydney, NS. What's that?
Nova Scotia.
London is online this morning.
London, Ontario?
London, Ontario.
All right.
Long Beach, California. Sheldon, Iowa. Birmingham, Alabama. Pennsylvania's with us. Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Yeah, we're converting all those Canadians up there. Decatur, is that right? Illinois?
Decanter, is it? Or
maybe it's Decanter.
I don't know.
Woodbury Forest, Virginia, Albany, Ohio. Well, that's a whole bunch. Philippines online this morning. Wow. Get down here on this map.
Hey, Illinois, text us the pronunciation at 910-690-0116.
All right.
Good morning, folks. Good to have you. That Moose Lake person listens all the time. Some of these folks listen all the time.
All right. What are we doing? Oh, yes.
Probably because I'm on.
Well, it's definitely not that reason. Here's, let's just beat you up just out of principle this
And now it's time for Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Or BS.
Don't get me back to good bullshit.
All right, time for another rousing round of Yes or BS. That's where we'll ask Matt let me get my buzzer up here because I know we're going to wear this out this morning.
That's the sound of scoffing.
Anyway, he'll decide if it's yes, it's true, or no, it's total BS. Steven Tyler of Aerosmith turned 70 years old today. You have to decide if these You have to decide if these other celebrities are over 70 yet.
Yeah, I know how you do this. You're picking guys that, if they're over 70, they just turned 70 yesterday.
No, some of these people are into their 70s. Pat Sajak from Wheel of Fortune.
Over 70? No. Yes.
Yes, he turned 71 back in October.
See?
Martin Short.
Yes.
Yep, today's... No, I'm sorry. You're wrong again. He is actually... His birthday is today, too. He's 68.
I'm wrong so rarely that it's really surprising.
Yeah. Billy Crystal is over 70.
Billy Crystal over... No.
Yes, he is. He just turned 70 earlier this month. Dustin Hoffman is over 70.
Yes.
How old is he?
Over 70.
How much over?
Somewhere between 1 and 8 years.
Buzzy. You're not even right there.
He's 79.
He is 80.
He's 80.
He'll be 81 in August. And last but not least, Prince Charles is over 70.
Prince Charles is over 70. Yes.
No. He's 69. He won't be 70 until November.
Good Lord. I'm batting 1,000 today, baby. Woohoo!
Yeah, another day of...
Actually, no, I got one right. You just pushed it until you could.
You
buzz
didn't
me.
get part two right.
Bastard.
So that gives you a 50% there on that one. So you failed on that question, and you failed on all the other questions.
Whatever.
You just...
my
You just a failure, boy. All right, rim shot time this morning. Okay. Anderson Cooper interviews Stormy Daniels last night on 60 Minutes. Also last night, thousands of guys watching 60 Minutes with their wives awkwardly pretended to have no idea who Stormy Daniels is. What? Huh? I've never heard of her. I don't know who that is. And unlike how she previously described Trump in bed, the ratings, unlike how she previously described Trump in bed, the ratings will be huge.
I think it's pronounced huge.
Whatever. Chihuahua-like skeletons have been found in many Mesoamerican archaeological sites. Coincidentally, they're also often found at the bottom of Paris Hilton's purse. A new report shows women in Brazil want sperm from blonde, blue-eyed, handsome American men. I never knew I was so much in demand.
You're not.
It's just not in North America. So better luck next time, morning radio host out there. Let's see.
Hey, just a note here. WEEB office hours are 9 to 5.
Right. So if you call now, nobody answers. Just annoys me with the light. Danica Patrick turned 36 yesterday. She left her birthday party at the same time as everyone else, but still arrived last. Oh, that's the wrong.
Now buzz yourself.
That's a little NASCAR joke for those that know NASCAR. Hulk Hogan may return to the WWE. Now when he gets in the ring and rips something off his body, will be his diaper. And the WWE superstar The Undertaker turned 53 on Saturday. He celebrated with his brothers, the Embalmer and the Mortician. And that's your rim shots for today. All righty. It is 8:36 now past the hour.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school.
All right, my friends, it's time once again to suck in that big breath of air. Let that big, hairy chest stick out. Strut across the floor in the style of the Duke, John Wayne. Open up your closet doors. Look at all 30 of your Liberty safes. Today we're going to go to Liberty safe number 3. Full of semi-automatics. Let Matt reach in and grab one.
All right, I'm going to give you a Ruger today. Ruger Security 9. It's a blued semi-automatic pistol. Nice-looking pistol.
All right, we'll throw that into the holster, pin on our badge, grab 5 cans of whoop ass as we now head out the door in relentless pursuit of stupid criminal news. Stupid criminal news number 1 this morning. A 37-year-old guy named Jedediah Fulton Went into a Mickey D's in Sutherland, Oregon last week with a perfectly reasonable request. Everybody orders this. He wanted to order 30 double cheeseburgers. I told him they didn't have time right here in rush hour to do that. If they had called ahead, of course, they could have had that prepared for him. And it might have been also because he didn't have enough money to pay for it. But he was so upset that he went outside and started beating up on the store's golden arches. Saying that'll show him. And all I got him was a show up by the police. He was arrested for disorderly conduct, criminal trespass, criminal mischief, and harassment. Or harassment, however you want to say it.
Golden Arches?
Yeah, well, he first bullied all the staff, you know.
Okay.
Stupid criminal news number 2. This isn't the first guy to forget his anniversary and have to scramble to make something happen. It just didn't sound like he scrambled hard enough. And his wife might also be a crazy person. A 41-year-old near Tampa named Ronnie Alexander woke up last Wednesday and immediately got into a fight with his wife Carol because he forgot their wedding anniversary. Maybe she made it easy to forget. Might have been in a good way or a bad way. But anyway, luckily, he had to go to work, which gave him a chance to plan something for later in the day. But when he got home, he showed up with a single rose. Oh, let's see. You just ticked off your wife in the morning for not being prepared for your wedding anniversary. And then you show up in the evening with one rose. You could have gotten at the convenience mart. And he said he was going to book a hotel somewhere for the weekend. But it doesn't sound like he'd actually booked anything yet. Shortly after that, Carol just lost it. She smacked him multiple times, and he ended up with scratches on his neck and chest. Uh-oh. When police questioned her, she admitted that she had, quote, flipped out on him. Now she's facing charges for misdemeanor domestic battery.
Here's a note. Anything you say can and don't forget that will be used against you in a court of law.
I got a picture of her. She looks pretty good. I wouldn't forget her.
Yeah, until she beat your ass.
Like I said, maybe she was just so good he just didn't have a reason to remember.
I don't know what that means, but I'll...
Every day is an anniversary.
Yeah. Gentlemen, do not use that line. Do not use it.
Last but not least, there's the 30-year-old guy named Saul Valengas from the Bronx of New York. And last week, he got a $96,000 settlement from a lawsuit he had filed after a car accident. And how did he celebrate? By putting all the cash in a suitcase, checking into a cheap motel and hiring not one, not two, but 3 hookers.
Villegas.
To have a good time.
Well, yeah.
After they had sex, the women pitched the idea that a few friends of theirs could come by with beer and cigarettes.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Yeah, Saul was down for that, so they called their friends. Well, those friends turned out to be 2 dudes.
No kidding.
Who busted in the room with guns and stole the suitcase with the $96,000 of cash in it.
You don't say.
So now the police are trying to track down the hookers and their friends. Good luck with that. As for Saul, he's pretty upset he lost all his cash. Quote, I am haunted by this. I need that money badly. Might try a bank next time.
I need that money badly for my bail. For using prostitutes and admitting to it.
And that, my friends, is your stupid criminal news for this Monday. I'm looking at the 2 hookers, man. They aren't worth $96, much less $96,000.
Well, wait, he said 3 hookers.
Ugh. All right, that's your stupid criminal news for this Monday.
Somehow I suspect that alcohol and or drugs were making them look better.
And a whole lot of stupid. As Clint Eastwood said in one of his movies, the good Lord sure must love stupid people. And the normal reply is, why is that?
Why is that?
Because he made so many of them. Just ask Saul. Right? Tell you how smart he is, anyway.
And now it's time for
Random facts.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, those random facts, maybe a spare for you Monday. More than half of all the motels in the U.S. are owned by people of Indian descent. And 1/3 of motels are owned by someone with the last name Patel. Patel.
Indian immigrants do, and their children do very well economically.
Stores in Oklahoma have to sell beer at room temperature. It cannot be refrigerated. Saves a lot of cooling cost in Oklahoma. I guess they don't want people drinking it down right away. Slow them down a little bit. More running races are held on Thanksgiving than any other day of the year. At least last year, about 870,000 people ran in a race on Thanksgiving. Anything to get away from the family. Steve.
That's my favorite holiday.
Ranch dressing is named after the brand Hidden Valley Ranch.
Yes.
They created the dressing in the 50s, and everyone who copied it called it ranch style. And your spare, the best-selling song in French history, is a Christmas song called, and I don't speak French, Peut-être Papa Noël. The second best-selling song of all time in France is The Chicken Dance. And that's your random facts for Monday.
Is that one? I
have no idea.
I think that's it.
That's enough of that. Gee whiz. Talking about giving me a headache instantly.
Turn on my mic.
No more singing.
Just filling time, Steve.
If we wanted you to sing, we would provide not only the words, but a bouncing ball to go with it.
I was filling the Marcel Marceau space.
I was still talking. Today's impossible question, a new survey asked, what major scientific breakthroughs do you expect to see in your lifetime? 45% of the respondents said this.
A cure for cancer.
That's the way I would have answered it, but we would be wrong. That must be the other. That must be the other 55%.
Oh, there's 55%. Artificial intelligence.
No.
Driverless cars.
Mm-mm.
I give up.
Living under the sea. Let me give you your buzz.
Give me a break.
From a Did You Know category, 5% of doctors have done this with their patients.
5% of doctors have done this with their patients. Had an affair.
Close enough. Dated them. The IRS receives how many calls a year?
I'm going to say 100 million.
That's right. Well, what is it? There's only about 50 million of us paying taxes.
Yeah, it's
the rest just draw a check.
It's some incredibly small number. And you call that number, and as I recall, they will tell you that this is not necessary. Just because we give you information doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to jail for doing it.
According to a study, only 5% of people who have rebound sex have it with a stranger. In 21% of the cases, rebound sex is with a friend or acquaintance.
Who was waiting in the wings, apparently.
Who all of a sudden became better looking, I guess. Researchers estimate that the average woman in her 30s has 2 of these type of days a week.
Bad hair days.
It is bad hair day. Almost 20% of us said that someone stole this at work last week.
Our lunch.
According to a recent survey, if you would change something in your life, 1/2 of us said that we would do this.
Our sex.
No.
Change something in our life. A job.
Would watch less TV.
Oh, I don't watch much TV. That wouldn't be on top of my list.
A survey says that 1 in 10 adults have damaged this while watching or playing in a sporting event.
A knee or shoulder.
No, their smartphone. Dummy doesn't take it out of their pocket and goes and falls all over it. And they wonder why the glass cracked.
You idiot.
All right. This is Monday. We have our easy yes or BS for Matt. So he's got a 50-50 shot at this. But Matt will fail anyway because Matt is a failure. According to legend, the Lone Ranger's real identity was John Reed.
Yes.
It's true. The Indian Ocean is the world's smallest ocean.
The Indian Ocean. No, false.
Which is the smallest?
You bastard.
There are
I
only
think it's the
7 oceans, I believe, aren't there?
No. Well, the Black Sea is considered a
That's
sea.
a sea, is not an ocean.
I don't know.
The Arctic Ocean.
The Arctic Ocean.
A shampoo containing real beer was widely marketed in the 70s under the brand name Body on Tap.
Yes, indeed.
A.J. Foyt was the first driver to win the Indianapolis 500 4 times.
Yes.
The Register of the Desert, a huge, gigantic boulder covering 27 acres with 5,000 early pioneer names carved on it, is located in Colorado.
BS.
Where is it located?
Perhaps Arizona.
Perhaps you're wrong.
New Mexico.
Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Rating for motion pictures was first introduced in 1962.
1962. Yes.
No, it was 1968 when they had GMRX ratings. When the system was first introduced, PG was called M. February 70, they changed it to GP, and then in 72 to PG. One stood for general population. The other one stood for parental guidance. San Diego was the birthplace of the triathlon.
Yes.
Why, yes, where the humidity doesn't kill you when you try on their athlon.
Weak as hell, but I'll give you the rim shot.
Frank Sinatra was given the code name Napoleon by the Secret Service during the Kennedy and Reagan administrations.
Yes.
Yes, Frank Sinatra produced inaugural celebrations for the 2 presidents and lunched at the White House with the First Lady Nancy. Blueberries fight cancer.
Yes. Although these things are, next year it'll be different, but yes.
You say that with no confidence. You don't believe they do?
I'm skeptical of all these claims about foods fighting cancer.
Fuzz you now. The fruit contains more cancer and disease-fighting antioxidants than any other fruit or vegetable.
You buzzed me even though I got the answer right? Just because I'm skeptical of
changed
the
it wrong.
so-called science?
You said, I don't believe it.
I said yes.
Women are more likely to giggle in the presence of a man they find attractive than at any other time.
Yes.
Yes, we all become a little foolish, don't we, when we're enamored.
I don't know. I'm not a woman, so I'll just leave that
Men do
to
it
you,
too.
Opine.
Men do it too. All of a sudden, they're just the funniest guy on the planet, aren't they? Only about 1/3 of the paperwork filed in the average office is ever seen again by anyone for any reason.
Yes, unless you've tricked it to be less.
Huh?
Actually, less probably. Maybe 1/10.
It is less. What percentage?
Maybe 10%.
Not low enough. 5%.
5%. I got that right, by the way.
About 40 pounds of dust settles on the walls of the average 6-room house each year.
BS.
It's true.
40 pounds of dust settles on the walls?
Yeah.
That's BS.
No. It's all over the place.
It's all over, but not 40 pounds of it.
Yeah.
That's a load of crap.
No.
Where is that?
I'm just going by what they have here.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You're arguing with me. That's a load of crap. There's not 40 pounds of dust on the walls in a house.
There is.
There isn't even that much dust on the furniture.
Yeah, I dusted my place at least a year ago, and it came back, so I don't see the point of doing it again.
Well, see? But it ain't 40 pounds, I'll tell you that.
No, it's about 80 pounds now.
Yeah, whatever.
The average dual-income American couple spends only 1.5. I see. Okay. The average dual-income American couple spends only 1.5 waking hours together each day.
Yes.
No. It's 3.2 waking hours. So there you go.
All right, I got a B or better on that one.
I think you got about
I think I got
C.
2 wrong.
Oh, come on. Don't make me go
No,
back.
you buzzing me does not equal me being wrong.
I sure heard that buzzer a whole lot.
Okay, all right. Well, if that's the standard, then yeah.
All right, we'll end out with Name That Year. Let's get it to somewhere where everybody might have been alive that's listening. A jury convicts Oliver North of obstructing Congress, altering documents, and illegally accepting a gratuity. Panama holds a presidential election. Manuel Noriega nullifies it when his opponent wins. It's one way to win one. The U.S. Supreme Court rules, see, when you have all the guns, you can do things like that.
Yeah.
The U.S. Supreme Court, which is why you have guns, so you can take your government back if necessary in situations like that.
More T Citizens had a video of that being stated by rapper Ice-T, believe it or not.
The U.S. Supreme Court rules that an employer has the legal burden of proving that its refusal to hire or promote someone is based on legitimate or not discriminatory reasons. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade premieres in theaters. And If You Don't Love Me By Now by Simply Red enters the U.S. Top 40 chart. What year is it?
Wow, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I'm going to say 1989.
It was 89. All right, one more. Quickly, chime in when you know. The U.S. Supreme Court rules Paula Jones could pursue sexual harassment lawsuit against the president, Clinton, while he was in office. Ultimately, she got, close to $1 million. Strom Thurmond becomes the longest-serving senator in U.S. history. Tony Blair, whose new Labor Party crushes John Major's long-reigning conservatives. Jesse K. I will skip that. I don't even know.
1996.
No. And Hypnotized by the Notorious B.I.G. hits #1 on the charts.
1997.
It was 97. All right, so it goes for this Monday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow. 7 to 9 for a titillating Tuesday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams and the Leader Man, and Nick and Colt the dog. We'll see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the Sunny Dog Park.
And I'm Matt Horsey with some biting wit from Professor Lawrence J. Peter, author of The Peter Principle. Bureaucracy defends the status quo long past the time when the quo has lost its status. Stay tuned for Chris Plant, followed by Rush Limbaugh at noon, Sean Hannity at 3, Rush and Mark Levin at 6. Follow us and like us at facebook.com/WEEB990. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 for Mornings with the Leader Man right here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB.
When I come back, you'd better be laughing.
So, what have we learned?